Es en Playa Inglés, es el 19 de diciembre 2015. Wie viel Uhr ist, Mami? Heute ist 19, oder? Heute ist der 19. Ay, Dios mío, mira cuántos. Heute ist der 19, oder?
Ja, ich denke.
Sábado, el 19. Ay, Dios mío, mira.
Das ist ja nicht
Ay, ay, ay. Qué locura. Aquí en Gran Canaria, Playa Inglés.
Kannst du ja dann ins Internet stellen.
Mi voz es un poco ronca porque todavía tengo un poco de bronquitis. Pero bueno. Ay, 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 el aire. Ya no se nota que es el aire del mar. Pobre. SantaClaus Deception. Mi último video en inglés. Y mira. Increíble.
Jetzt haben sie sich gesammelt, jetzt geht's wieder los.
Willst du Hallo zur Kamera sagen? Nee, sie will nicht Hallo sagen. Bueno, vamos a terminar.
Hola. Hola. Canaria. Als Weihnachtsgruß von mir.
Ok. Bueno, aquí estamos, Gran Canaria, Playa Inglés, San Agustín. Ahí se van.
Very confusing, but let me talk about the Santa Claus lie we'll live in, this analogy. You know how you tell the child about Santa Claus and they're growing up and you know, you have to decide when to tell them the truth, when to break the lie, or how that happens. Imagine that has been happening on a grand scale to us, and our creators and sub-creators above us are in that bind of how to tell us the truth when it's gone way too far. So they are backed into a corner, in a sense, with the Santa Claus lie. And they're trying to let the truth play out. So, in this very high video game, we are like the players here. We didn't make the game, we don't make the rules. And they have operations in the game that keep us veiled and keep us fooled. So if we study something hard they in general will allow it to manifest and become real and perpetrate the matrix. And you can see that in your personal intention when you pray or meditate or put your meditation to something. And more importantly, when two or more gather and put their meditation together, it becomes very powerful. Right now, that only happens for the money god when you arrange things for the money god. It's very hard to make it happen for a true thing, like Garvey Energy Project. People's mind is not strong enough. If people come together for Garvey Energy Project, they will be turned against each other. Just like all in this truth movement, you see people get together and hang out and different things, and they all get turned against each other and division and such. That's called enmity. It's another function of the high AI. But the getting to quantum entanglements. So basically in Flat Earth, they are missing the understanding and overstanding of the sentient nature of life and the sentient nature of light. Now what that means is you can only take an argument up to a certain point in quanta. It'll never be exact. When you go into quanta, it's never exact. As you look at it, it will change. So that's part of the nature of our reality. So if you want to make the quantum jump and get up to bringing the kingdom of heaven here on earth and really having a full understanding, don't be trapped in flat earth. It's moot in a guardian garden. Not as bad as what the Garden of Eden turned into, or whatever, with that abomination mess, or whatever happened, that story. But the flat earth is another garden. It's a Kierkegaardian garden. It's just going to keep you in a flux zone. So it's something good for you to graduate from. It's something good for you to go through and graduate from. But don't be trapped in the garden. Don't be trapped in the garden.
Is that just coincidence that the way they have that logo is exactly the way it could lay out on a flat Earth dome structure?
No, there's no coincidence. The saying is, and I've said this before, and that is, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. Not like this. The flag, the United Nations flag, for those of you who don't know exactly what he's talking about, is that the United Nations flag, which was designed in 1946, the same year.
Such an interesting quote there. It was Truott interviewing Mark Sargent and Patricia Steer on COINTEL Radio Revolution. You know, it's interesting that Mark would talk about coincidence there and understand there are no coincidences. Now, to take that to its heights and follow that meditation, okay? Once you have entered into the flat earth, or I prefer the enclosed or domed concept. You see, remember, each concept is going to trap you at another level of mental slavery. And you're going to develop another archon. And, you know, another archon order. And you're going to have a level of neo-priests appear, like YouTube is now the school for neo-priests. Okay, the new Pharisee level, whatever, to come to the people with different COINTEL news. Now, flat earth, everybody understands, is a managed psyop. When you see these things happen and you see them grow like they are, they're managed psyops. Now, whether people are paid or possessed is an argument that I don't want to get into too much anymore. Sometimes I do. But these people here are certainly, some of them, possessed. And some of them is handler for a possessed. And whether the handler knows what that he's doing is different matters. But the concept, you see, once you get into the dome, and once you get into flat earth and you start to discern flat earth arguments, and they have a lot of, when they have some disinfo arguments, so, some made by their own misunderstanding, which serves the Hegelian dialectic in dividing the flat earth or this concept and distracting and sending you into a Kierkegaardian garden. The operational agenda out of the near earth AI, more than Hegelian, because the Hegelian is getting exposed, so you have the Hegelian operations, but the Kierkegaardian garden, where all the arguments reach a moot point, okay, and helps their agenda, because what it does, remember, they want to render you useless. The most important thing is to render humans useless and prevent them from community activism, prevent them from actually loving their neighbor and actually in the real life, okay, achieving the kingdom and following the order. And love your enemy, whether it's your neighbor or not. So the agenda is to render humans useless in their reality. So let them play games in the hologram, okay? And their chi will be harvested, and World War III will happen, and their children will turn into demons like we have a demon generation. Look at what's happened. I don't know who can't wake up and see. From Columbine happened, people should have waken up and seen what was happening. But you can see we have worthless everywhere. But let me stay on point here about quantum entanglements. Okay, with flat earth though, before I forget this, what flat earthers, okay, once you're going to come into the dome, now you can stay in the dome and you can play in this level in the dome. Or you can say, who's running the dome? Who's the boss? Who's running things? And what's this relationship between this world government, which is keeping us in slavery and making us pay for water? So you can get to the real issues at hand, or you can stay shopping. You can stay on the window shopping level with flat earth. Stay on your window shopping. You'll never get to anything. You're just window shopping on the flat earth, unless you understand about His Majesty's order, and that free water should be here for people and free energy, and that we have a hijacked level which is involved in so much satanic ritual, serving elemental demons, holes in the matrix that they are exploiting, okay, to control us. And now they've mastered technology to mind control us and to genetically control life. So we have the mastery of the technology. We've had the mastery of the spirit that was up there. Now technology has been occulting it. And technology has actually fully occulted and mastered, okay, things. So you worship false things. You're inside a holographic reality, okay? Now, what flat earthers get confused about, because they're not up to understanding that level and higher, where you get into, okay, the AI that is responsible for handing out your fingerprints. In case you haven't realized it, your fingerprints are unique in most respects, in addition to other components. That uniqueness is not a coincidence. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. And these things are recorded and managed. And for all practical purposes, we are replicants. We are clones. Okay, our body is DNA coded from our parents in most cases, or whatever code was put there. And then we have a soul or a spirit, which is being manipulated to other puppet strings and emotional levels. Okay, understand the spirit is puppeted through the mind control and the emotions that run around the heart that are released by the mind.
Esta idea me vino hoy especialmente cuando vi otra vez una chica ahí pidiendo dinero por la calle. Actually, I must say first, this idea today I got especially when I saw again one girl begging for money in the streets. Me gustaría ayudar, pero yo tampoco me sobra mucho el dinero. I would really like to help everybody, but I don't have either too much money. And así que me vino la siguiente idea. So I got the following idea. Es más bien un juego. It's rather a game. Lo que es muy importante, elegir un monedero de Bitcoin que solo tú misma tienes la llave privada. What is very important to choose Bitcoin wallet company which you only possess the private key. For example, blockchain.info. Por ejemplo, la empresa blockchain.info. Luego, imprimir en papel la llave privada y también guardarlo tú mismo. Then to print in paper the private key and of course save for yourself that private key. Bueno, ya estamos imprimiendo, imprime por lo menos 10. So now we are already printing, so at least print 10 directions, 10 direcciones. Luego pones algo de Bitcoin, una cantidad, lo que te da la gana en esta dirección. Then you put some Bitcoin, the amount, whatever you want, in these directions. Y la próxima vez que sales de casa ya tienes algo que dar a los que están ahí pidiendo por la calle. And the next time you go out of the house, you have already something to give for these people who are begging on the streets. Y por ejemplo, y claro, para tus amigos, amigas, and for your friends, of course. Eso da motivación a la gente para aprender Bitcoin y this gives motivation for the people to learn about Bitcoin. Y la parte del juego consiste en lo siguiente, and the game part consists in the following. Explicas a la gente, mira, esta es la clave privada, que es la clave secreta. You explain to the people, look, this is the private key, which must be secret. And you have it, and me, and explicas, esa persona y yo mismo la tiene. Y antes pensaba en 5 años, pero luego cambié un poco de idea de hasta 4 años. First I thought of 5 years, but then I changed my opinion to 4 years, later explain. Después lo explico por qué. Les dices, mira, tienes 4 años para poner esta cantidad de Bitcoin a otra dirección. Si no lo has quitado después de 4 años, yo lo quito. So you explain them, you have 4 years to take this Bitcoin out of this direction, of this secret key direction. If you don't do it, I do it after these 4 years, so you lose this. That's this part of the game, es la parte del juego. He creado este hashtag BTC4 para hacerlo un poco popular. I created this hashtag BTC4 to make it a little popular. Antes pensaba en 5 años, pero luego cambié a 4 porque te has dado cuenta que en Los Simpson la gente tiene 4 dedos y solo Dios tiene 5 dedos. First, I thought of 5 years, but then I changed my mind to 4 years. Did you notice that in The Simpsons, people have 4 fingers and only God has 5 fingers? I'll show some pictures. Voy a enseñar algunas imágenes de Los Simpsons, de los manos y dedos de Simpsons. Some pictures of the hands and fingers of Simpsons. Pero antes quiero recordar que es muy probable que en también 4 o 5 en los próximos años el valor de Bitcoin puede subir mucho. Just want to remember before that the price of Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin can rise very much in these next years. Así que si solo pones una cantidad pequeña, más tarde puede ser de gran ayuda. Even if you just put a little small amount, later it can be big help. No solo para, bueno, es un juego. Si la persona lo quita antes de 4 años, es para esta persona. Si no, es para ti, si te recuerdas y guardas bien la llave privada. So this is the game part. If the person takes the money out, it's for that person. But if they forget it after these 4 years, you can take it out. And it can be really...
Bueno, imprimir también la llave pública y la llave privada. Y si, por ejemplo,
Okay, first translate. Print not just the private key, but also the public key. Así que si, por ejemplo, explicas a la gente, mira, si alguna persona quiere enviarte Bitcoin, pero tú no tienes ninguna dirección, así que puedes dar esta llave pública a la persona. Mira, muy bien, la llave pública, no la llave secreta, das a esa persona o cualquier persona y te pueden enviar Bitcoin a esa dirección. So, remember, the public key you can give to anybody, and if somebody wants to send you some Bitcoin and this person doesn't have any, so you have already this public address where they can send you Bitcoin.
¿Qué es Bitcoin? Bitcoin es la primera moneda digital descentralizada. Los Bitcoins son monedas digitales que puedes enviar a través de Internet. Comparado con otras alternativas, Bitcoin tiene numerosas ventajas. Los Bitcoins son transferidos directamente de persona a persona a través de la red sin pasar por un banco u otro intermediario. Esto significa que las comisiones son mucho menores, puedes usarlo en cualquier país, tu cuenta no puede ser congelada y no hay prerequisitos o límites arbitrarios. Miremos cómo funciona. Los Bitcoins son generados en todo Internet por cualquiera con un programa gratuito llamado minero de Bitcoin. Crear Bitcoins requiere una cierta cantidad de trabajo para cada bloque de monedas. Esta cantidad se ajusta automáticamente por la red para que los Bitcoins siempre sean creados a un ratio predecible y limitado. Tus Bitcoins se guardan en tu billetera digital, que te resultará familiar si usas banca digital. Cuando transfieres Bitcoins, una firma electrónica es añadida. Pasados unos minutos, la transacción es verificada por el minero y es almacenada permanente y anónimamente por la red. El software de Bitcoin es completamente abierto y cualquiera puede revisar el código. Bitcoin está cambiando las finanzas de la misma manera que la web ha cambiado el periodismo. Cuando cualquiera tiene acceso al mercado global, florecen grandes ideas. Miremos algunos ejemplos de cómo los Bitcoins están usándose hoy en día. Puedes comprar videojuegos, regalos, libros, servidores y calcetines de alpaca. Existen varias casas de cambio donde puedes intercambiar tus Bitcoins por dólares, euros y más. Los Bitcoins son una gran forma para que pequeños negocios y autónomos reciban publicidad. No cuesta nada empezar a aceptarlos, no hay cargos o comisiones y recibirás negocio adicional de la economía Bitcoin. Para tus primeros Bitcoins y más información, visita weusecoins.com.
Bueno, ahora voy a enseñar algunas imágenes de los dedos de Simpsons. Now I'll show some pictures of the fingers of Simpson. The 4 fingers, los 4 dedos y 5 dedos de Dios. The 4 fingers and 5 fingers of God of Simpsons.
The 13th of March.
Normally I produce only videos in English and Spanish. Normalerweise produziere ich nur Videos en English und Spanish. Pero hoy voy a hacer otra excepción y traducirlo también en alemán. But today I make another exception and translate it into German too. Aber heute werde ich nochmal eine Ausnahme machen und es auch in Deutsch übersetzen. Ya algunas semanas tengo escrito en mi lista de tareas por hacer de traducir el video hashtag BTC4. Now already some weeks ago I have written on my to-do list to translate the video BTC4, hashtag BTC4. Schon seit ein paar Wochen habe ich auf meiner To-Do-Liste geschrieben, den Video BTC4 in Deutsch zu übersetzen. Estoy segura que esta idea puede ayudar a mucha gente económicamente. I'm sure that this can help many people economically. Ich bin sicher, dass diese Idee vielen Leuten finanziell helfen kann. Y da motivación para aprender Bitcoin. And give motivation to learn about Bitcoin. Und Motivation geben, über Bitcoin zu lernen. En este momento el precio de Bitcoin es muy bajo, económico. At the moment the price of Bitcoin is very low, economic. Im Moment ist der Preis von Bitcoin sehr tief. Sería el momento ideal para invertir. Hoy es el 15 de abril 2015. Would be the ideal moment to invest. Today is April 15th, 2015. Es wäre der ideale Moment zu investieren. Heute ist der 15. April 2015. El 27 de marzo 2015 he publicado en mi canal de YouTube Vanos Enigma el primer video sobre hashtag BTC4 explicando cómo me vino esta idea. On March 27th of 2015, I published the first video about hashtag BTC4 in my channel YouTube Vanos Enigma, explaining how I got the idea. Am 27. März 2015 habe ich in meinem YouTube-Channel Vanos Enigma den ersten Video über Hashtag BTC4 veröffentlicht und erklärt, wie ich diese Idee bekommen habe. La idea consiste principalmente en lo siguiente. The idea mainly consists in the following. Die Idee besteht hauptsächlich in folgendem. Imprimir direcciones de Bitcoin en papel, 10 o mínimo 10 o mejor 100. To print Bitcoin directions in paper, at least 10 or better 100. Bitcoin-Adressen in Papier ausdrucken mínimo 10 oder besser gleich 100. Y luego poner en cada dirección de Bitcoin una pequeña cantidad de Bitcoin. And then put in every Bitcoin direction a little amount of Bitcoin. Und dann in jede Bitcoin-Adresse eine kleine Summe von Bitcoin transferieren. Y la próxima vez, cuando otra vez ves una persona por la calle pidiendo dinero, and the next time you see again a person begging for money on the street, und das nächste Mal, wenn du wieder eine Person auf der Straße betteln siehst, y para tus amigos y amigas, and for your friends of course, und für deine Freunde natürlich, o tal vez de propina en un restaurante, or maybe a tip in a restaurant, oder Trinkgeld im Restaurant. Bueno, a la hora de imprimir también copiar y guardar las llaves privadas de Bitcoin, de direcciones de Bitcoin. Or when you print the Bitcoin addresses, copy and save the private keys of the Bitcoin addresses, of course. Wenn man die Bitcoin-Adressen druckt, auch die privaten Schlüssel, Bitcoin-Address-Schlüsseln kopieren und speichern. Y a la hora de distribuir las direcciones de Bitcoin, escribir la fecha, por ejemplo, hoy es el 15 de abril 2015, escribir la fecha más plus 4 años, igual 15 de abril 2019. And then in the moment when you distribute the Bitcoin addresses, you write the date, for example today, April 15th, 2015, plus 4 years is April 15th, 2019. Und dann in dem Moment, wenn man die Bitcoin-Adressen verteilt, auf das Papier schreiben, das heutige Datum, zum Beispiel 15. April 2015, plus 4 Jahre ist gleich 15.04.2019. Luego vas a explicar a la gente, mira, esta es la llave privada, tú y yo la tienes. Si no quitas, transfieres este dinero de Bitcoin en estos 4 años, yo lo vuelvo a tener o sacar. Then you explain to the people, look, this is the private key. I have it and you have it. If you don't take this money, Bitcoin, out of this account, I will take it out in these 4 years, at the end of these 4 years. Und dann erklärst du den Leuten, schau, das ist der private Schlüssel. Ich und du haben diesen privaten Schlüssel, Bitcoin-Schlüssel. Wenn du bis Ende dieser 4 Jahre das Geld Bitcoin nicht raustust, Transfer, dann hole ich es zurück. De esta forma das más motivación a la gente para empezar a aprender cómo funciona Bitcoin. This way you give more motivation to the people to learn how the technology of Bitcoin functions. Auf diese Weise gibst du mehr Motivation den Leuten zu lernen, wie die Technologie von Bitcoin funktioniert. En mi video antiguo
inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweigh the dangers which are cited to justify it.
Face the facts, join our hands, make a stand. It's time to gather plans, get the shot, take the chance. Till there is no one left, stay correct to the death. They can't ever break a freedom, we will never let it. The corrupt politics is killing the system. Cynicism is it, and it's everything that you witness. They tell you what to think, make you believe that they're the realness. They feed us full of lies, and yet we always forgive them. Huh? It's all conspiracy, and if you're free to enter it, you're the puppet. The government's pulling strings from above you. It's time for the introduction to truth, and let's start a movement. We've all been brainwashed, they believe that we all are stupid. We believe in what we see and whatever our ears are hearing. But if you look close, listen, gather your own opinion, you'll understand all the lies, lines and what's between them. This word is not your oyster, this word is a fucking prison. Come on! What's happening in our nation? No one will stand up for the fear of assassination. So they strip us of everything. We stand there and just take it. Scared to make a stand, a false flag operation. Research Illuminati, find out by 9/11. You see they line their pockets, don't believe the lies they tell you. Find and seek the truth, realize we need to do whatever it is we can to protect our livelihood. It's time for us to prove whether conspiracy or not. They owe some explanations to the questions that we got. What are the skull and bones? What is lying beneath? All these secretive meats got you lying between your teeth. What's with the Bilderberg and burning your effigies? I'm praying to Lucifer, how Satanist can you be? While all of the time praying you believing in the beast just to keep up appearances within Christianity. Come on! Stay strong, and they try to shut us down or turn around, let us storm them. We got the warnings, let us march from the morning through the night. We gon' fight and close the eye and overthrow all these damn secret societies. Why we gotta stand for the new world proprieties? The evidence is clear, we're naive to the lies. Illuminati wolves killing sheep in the night. When will we learn? When will we see what is right underneath all our eyes? This whole time realize we've been deceived and they're trying to deplete us. They brainwashed our minds, may our souls stay free from corruption. Never trust them, let them get ahead. Even if we chant a march to the very end, nevertheless, let them know we will never rest. Till I bid him, I beat to them, knots to the head. Come on! You'll never take control. Your new world order will lead to
Es en Playa Inglés, es el 19 de diciembre 2015 Wie viel Uhr ist, Mami? Heute ist 19, oder?
Perfekt.
Heute ist der
Meine
19.
Güte. Guck mal, da
Ay, Dios mío, mira cuántos. Increíble.
jetzt haben sie sich gesammelt. Jetzt geht's wieder los.
Willst du Hallo zur Kamera sagen? Nee, sie will nicht Hallo sagen. Bueno, vamos a terminar.
Hola. Hola. Canaria.
Heute ist der 19., oder?
Ja, ich denke,
Sábado, el 19. Ay, Dios mío, mira.
das ist ja nicht
Ay, ay, ay. Qué locura. Aquí en Gran Canaria, Playa Inglés.
Kannst du ja dann ins Internet stellen.
Mi voz es un poco ronca porque todavía tengo un poco de bronquitis. Pero bueno. Ay, 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 el aire. Ya no se nota que es el aire del mar. Pobre. SantaClaus Deception. Mi último video en inglés. Y mira.
Das ist der Astrid senden als Weihnachtsgruß von mir.
Ok. Bueno, aquí estamos, Gran Canaria, Playa Inglés, San Agustín. Ahí se van.
Very confusing, but let me talk about the Santa Claus life we're living, this analogy. You know how you tell the child about Santa Claus and they're growing up and, you know, you have to decide when to tell them the truth, when to break the lie or how that happens. Imagine that has been happening on a grand scale.